Welcome back to the AM show. Grateful that you're still here with us, wherever you're watching us from. Good morning, and thanks for making us part of your morning. Well, so let's talk politics. Let's talk NDC. I've been joined in the studio by two, now you can call them parliamentary candidate of the NDC. Surveyor Maxwell Lukutor. He is a parliamentary candidate for the Southern constituency. Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Okay.
After a long, stressful campaigning,
yeah.
we are back and
okay.
I'm feeling better.
Okay. Maxwell Lukutor won by polling 597 votes as against his, the incumbent MP. Hey. So you pushed away an incumbent MP?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did.
Kobe Mensah Woyome, who polled 562 votes, whereas the third contender, Vivian Akpla-Beglo, had just 4 votes each. Anyway, I also have here with me the former General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Titus Beyuo. He won the Lambusie, right? It's Lambusie constituency. Yes. By some 446 votes, defeating his biggest contender, Edward Derry. Edward Derry used to be an MP in the 7th Parliament.
Exactly.
Okay, but he lost.
MP for 2 terms.
Okay, and lost it to in the 8th Parliament contest.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he came again.
Yes.
And you defeated him.
With the help of everybody else. It wasn't an easy feat, but I just give God the glory. I think the team that I had and our message did the trick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But everybody was surprised when you announced that you were stepping down to contest as an NDC parliamentary aspirant.
Yeah.
Because really nobody had the slightest. Okay, I don't know, but majority of us didn't have the slightest hint that you would be, one, a politician.
Yes, exactly.
And two, to even be an NDC.
Yes. So I think it just tells one story. That irrespective of political inclination, people can still carry out their business in a very discreet manner, in a very professional manner. In my previous life, I was a union leader, and I spoke for the medical association. I spoke what the doctors wanted me to say, and it didn't matter which government was in power. I spoke truth to authority. And so, in fact, when I even decided to step down, there were people in NDC who said, is this man really part of us? You know? So you can imagine the party members, how much more you in the media. My friends in the media did not expect it at all. No. Yes, but it's an ambition I had nursed for some time. Worked in that constituency and the district for a considerable length of time. And I've been calculating and checking the timing. And I thought the timing was
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're more like the Kojo Pongkrom of the NDC. Because when Kojo was also on his job, nobody could give the slightest hint that he belonged to one side.
Incidentally, we are very good friends.
Oh.
And we went to the same secondary school.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I was his school prefect. He was my assistant.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we had a very heated contest. For school prefect position in Pope John.
Wow.
Yes, and then I beat him to it. Good morning, Kojo. And he's still a very good friend.
So it means that you went to the same school as my producer, because Eko is also a Pojoba.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You know.
Yes.
Wow. It will be an interesting reconnection when you meet in Parliament then. Yeah. Because a school prefect with his assistant, it will be interesting the kind of debate that you guys can have.
He is there already, but I'll be counting on the benevolence and of my people in Lambusie. And I'm hopeful that they will give me the chance and to get to Parliament.
But aren't you an MP already? Because in your regions, for some parties, when you win as a PC, automatically, some way, you are already an MP.
I'm confident I'll get to Parliament, but I'm not yet.
Okay.
Because our current MP is from the other side.
Oh, okay.
We have a certain MP who is from NPP.
The NPP.
But I'm very confident that we'll take back that seat.
Okay.
But my confidence lies in the support of my people. Okay. They called me to come home and say, and I've responded to the call. Okay. The delegates have done the needful by giving me the nod and presenting me to the general population. And I'm very hopeful that they would also respond equally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maxwell Lukutor, this is your third time, right?
Fourth time.
Fourth time.
Contest.
So you did God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. It still didn't work for you. And then you combined all the three into one.
Yeah, this time is a 4x4. My nickname on the campaign trail was and is still 4x4.
Oh, okay.
And so I contested for the fourth time.
Mm-hmm.
I picked number 4. I'll be the fourth MP of Southtown in the Fourth Republic. So once I said that, people shouted 4x4, and so
Then
that's
it's gone.
my name all
Wow.
through. Yeah,
So 4x4 did the magic for you?
Yeah, 4x4 did the magic for me. They say 4x4 is a very strong car.
Okay.
It goes through the sun, it goes through the mud, it goes anywhere and everywhere. So at least I went everywhere.
Oh.
And by the grace of God, I'll be able to pull through. Yeah,
Interesting. So what really did the magic for you?
Consistency.
Okay.
My ability to carry along a lot more of my people. I've been contesting, and anytime I contest, I increase in the votes, and the vote margin of the MP keep decreasing. After every contest, I draw a lot more from the MP to add to my numbers.
Okay.
Because I'm an open-minded person. I'm not vindictive, and so I have an open arm to welcome anybody and everybody to my camp and to my team. And so we went on and on and on. The last time we contested, I lost by 73 votes out of almost 1,200. And so I knew that once I give another shot at it, I would definitely overtake. And that's exactly what did it. And I'm so grateful to my team. I'm grateful to my traditional leaders of all the 5 traditional areas, Agaves, Okwetefle, Ume, and Fievie. I'm grateful to all the former MPs, all the former DCs, my team members especially, very wonderful young men, and they were on fire. And I'm grateful to the delegates. I'm grateful to all the women and all the youth, everybody who did the magic. I'm also grateful to all my other aspirants.
Okay.
Stephen Fenuku, Jonathan Adusu, Vivian Peglo, and also the incumbent Kobina Mensah Oyoma. Honorable, I am so grateful to all of them for this contest because we did it in all love. The contest was so smooth. There wasn't issues. At the end of the day, everybody took it in good strides, and we are happy. And so I'm grateful to everybody.
Your colleague in Northtown, Samuel Okujoto and Blakwa, is doing an incredible work that even some of us who are not part of those constituencies are like, no, our MP should look at it. You are coming from the South. What's that big plan or agenda that you also have for your constituency?
The blueprints are there, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
He carries everybody along. He works with everybody. I am a kind of person, I told you I contested on 3 different occasions already. But there are people who I personally know do not belong to my camp, but I give to them anything they demand from me at any time without complaint. I intend to bring everybody on board. So Sunday after church service, I went round to the MP's home to say hi to him. Unfortunately, I didn't meet him. I went to former MPs, former DCs, all those that matter in the constituency. The other aspirants called. 2 of them came to my home. We sat. We had a good chat and laugh.
You ate at plane with Fetridechi?
Fetridechi. So I am not vindictive. I wish to bring everybody to the round table for us to go on develop the constituency together. It's the development of the constituency that is my heartbeat. It's not my personal glory to become an honorable or the MP or whatever. It's about what we can put together to develop the constituency. Sami is for the people. He does everything and anything for the people. And he's concerned about the needs of the people. And so every day he's fighting for the people. And that's what I intend to do. You realize that when our assembly member, we lost an assembly member about 3 years ago, I was leading the charge, and I carried everybody along. What we needed, we got it. That's the kind of person I wish to be. I want to speak for my people. I want to represent my people. I want to meet the needs of my people. I want to be there for them. And so I will emulate the example of Sami. And so I intend to just carry everybody along. I won't rule with all that is in me alone. I want to bring everybody on board. I have a 10-point agenda in my flyer that I use for the campaign. Unity is part of it, carrying along people, meeting them every year to collate ideas from them and move on with it, to carry them along, go to places, and make sure we harness resources for the constituency. There are several other things we need to do together. That's why I believe so much in teamwork, and my team has been so phenomenal. We sit at a table and we take a decision. If we have to vote on it, we vote on it. If I lose my stance, I take it in good strides, and we take that decision and we move along. That's the way I intend to rule. It's not about me being the MP, and so whatever I say is the final. No. So the constituent executives, the last time I met them, those of them who were even on the campaign trail with the MP, even though I told them it was morally wrong, legally may be right, but morally wrong. But I told them, I encouraged them, and I told them that even if I win, I'm going to work with all of them. And I hope to keep with that. I won't say that this is my favorite, this person didn't campaign for me, and for that reason, no. I believe that everybody has to do his or her work. And so I'll carry along everybody. And I'm sure with that attitude, would go very far with my work as an MP.
So during the general election, what is the selling point that you're taking to your people that they should choose you and not the other contenders coming from the other parties?
They have been contemplating whether they are going to field candidates.
Because of you?
Yeah, because of me. Some of the MP people categorically told me that their fear is that once I come on board, I will whip all the MPP votes together. And so they may not get much for themselves. And so it's always been their fear. So some of them intentionally work against me because of this phobia that once Maxwell comes, he carries all the votes. So I hope that we'll carry the votes in the basket and carry it to JM. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And so I'm targeting about 95% of the total voting Southern for JM. Yes.
So you're not going to put up a marketing plan because your other party now, they are even afraid to put up a candidate?
No, not necessarily. You see, these things, like I say, it wouldn't be my personal idea. It's going to be a collective idea.
Okay.
And after this long campaigning, we'll take in some few weeks break. We'll come back to the round table and put our ideas together and run along with it. Meanwhile, I have a flyer that has detailed exactly what I will even do as an MP. I have another one that has detailed how I'm going to handle my branch executives, my delegates. And so there's already the blueprint. There isn't going to be anything new. So I intend to run with that. But now that I am the PC, we still have to sit down with my constituency executives and decide exactly what we're going to do. Don't forget, this is going to be a party issue. The National Democratic Congress, from the national level, depending on what we put together and how we do it, then we'll run along. And I am a member of the National Democratic Congress National Infrastructure Committee.
Okay.
So we draft the manifesto, the aspect of the manifesto that concerns with roads and highways, lands and natural resources, ports and harbors, railways, and all those other ones. So I am part of that committee.
Okay.
So it is after we have done our work and our manifesto comes out, then we'll say that this, and this is what we intend to do.
Okay.
But at the local level, you know, my constituency, there are a lot of roads that are very deplorable. So you need to lobby for these roads to be fixed. Our land is generally agrarian. A lot of rice farms and mango farming, cashew, and so we need to encourage all those ones. So generally, I said I was going to help with inputs, tractors, seed, and even the weedicides to be able to help farmers do better in their field of work, to empower those who are already in businesses, small-scale businesses, so that they can blow out and then make meaning for themselves. Students, how to help them with scholarships to go to the tertiary institutions and make sure that they also become like some of us. I'm sure had it not been through tertiary institutions and other institutions, we wouldn't be here today representing our people. So I intend to push them and make sure that they get to the highest level that they can ever get to, so that after us, they can also take over from us. Yeah, sure.
Okay, good that you have a plan about even succession.
Yeah, sure.
Who would succeed you?
Definitely. Somebody has to succeed somebody. I can be there forever. So you need to nurture people who can take over from you.
But you want to do like 20 years?
I really don't know. It depends on how well I play on the field. Now I'm just on the coach. So when I get to the field,
you will see.
Yeah, depending on how skillful I'm able to display, the coach will decide whether I should be there forever or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go to Dr. Titus Beyuo. You have a very tighter contest coming up because for your constituency, the MP there now is an MPP MP.
Yeah.
Of course, they would want to maximize the seats they have in Parliament because what they have gone through in the past 2, 3 years, I'm not sure they would want to repeat same. So it means that they will come on with all the might that they have. First of all, let's talk about how you did it before we come to the major.
Okay.
You were going against a former MP.
Yeah.
One time you
Yes.
did it. How did you do it?
All right. So I think it's a constellation of factors.
Okay.
First of all, there's a God factor, and when the favor of God is upon you, His grace is upon you, you act in time, and God's will is always perfect. So if you move in the will of God, you're never out of time. And when you are acting in your season, all other factors play to your good. And I think that was the first thing. Second thing is that I would say that I had the support of family. I mean, making that decision wasn't an easy decision. I had to consult family, I had to consult friends over years. I would have done this contest in 2016. And then upon consultations, I was asked to wait. In 2020, I wanted to contest again. Leadership of the party at the constituency level and others said, look, wait, let's give our MP a third chance in Parliament. And unfortunately, he lost.
Okay.
And then the calls became even more. So I went in response to a call now from the people who had asked me to wait, who said, come, and we need you at this point to salvage the situation. So when I went in, the team that I put together was also a very unique team. My campaign was championed by the youth. You know, of all the candidates that contested, I'm the most youthful of them. And the youth saw in me an embodiment of themselves, somebody who holds promise for the future, someone who would think about their well-being. And my focus was, I mean, there is a saying that some of our candidates in the past will tell people, push me to climb the tree. When I get there, whatever is there, I'll eat and drop some for you. And I said, no, you push me up there. When I get there, I want to pull your kids up. I want to pull other children up so they can eat and drop for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure I can possibly feed myself full and feed my family, let alone to feed the rest. But if I pull other people, if I can produce a 20 of Dr. Beyuo from that constituency, 20 families, 20 communities are better off. And that's my vision. And so I had that empowerment of the youth. They went in the night, they went everywhere on motorbikes, and I'm so grateful to the youth from various communities that carried the campaign. Another strong factor was women. As you will know, I'm a gynecologist and a doctor of women. There are places I get to, the women did a campaign for me. Why? Because my previous track record in the district spoke for itself. Before my interventions in the district, our population is about 51,000 people. No surgery, simple surgery could be performed in that entire district. For a woman to have a cesarean section, they needed to travel to the adjoining districts like Nandom or Laura or Drapa to be able to have cesarean section. I brought in a team of medical doctors. We brought in equipment from the US. We did surgery. We're the first set of people to perform any surgery on Lambuse soil.
Okay.
And subsequently empowered the local doctors there, and they started performing surgeries. We have 2 doctors in the entire district. And so some of the hospitals and CHIPS centers, I went there, donated delivery beds. So you get to a place and a woman rises up and says, as for this man, but for him, we're delivering on the floor. So then they speak for you, you know. So that also did the
magic.
And the bigger thing was the message that we carried. We went in with a consistent, clear message in education. We wanted to improve the educational performance of the district, very poor. One media outlet ranked the districts in the Upper West region. Out of the 11 districts, our district was ranked the least in performance in BC. So I wanted to increase literacy. So I talked about getting a community library, learner support system, teacher support system. I had planned in agriculture. In terms of road infrastructure, it's terrible. And the greatest thing is advocacy. And you will know in my previous role that I was a great advocate for the health and well-being of Ghana by way of my position in the Medical Association. And my community lacked advocacy in terms of our previous and current leaders. They've done their bit, but the advocacy bit was lacking. We have serious issues to contend with. We are one of the only districts in the country without a tarred road. not an inch of tar road.
Hey.
Wow.
Yes, the only tar road you see in our district is an international road that connects straight to Burkina Faso. In our district capital, everywhere, there's not an inch of tar road. We have peculiar problems. When they introduce this GPS addressing system, you will stand in our district capital, and when you check and attempt to create a GPS address for your home, it will give you the name of another district.
Oh.
There are communities as we speak today, and I can mention, if you go to Hapa, Hapa is one of our communities from Hamele going towards Bangon, very close to Burkina Faso. If you stand there and you want to create a GPS address for your house, you can't locate it on the system. And you would find the Hapa town somewhere located in Burkina Faso or somewhere located nearer Nabala, another community a bit south. These are peculiar challenges. I mean, when we did the 2020-21 housing census, very few districts in this country got their population actually reduced. Our population stagnated and actually reduced. So in a period of 10 years, from 2010 to 2020, we didn't increase, you know. So is it that people are migrating so much, or what is it? So we have peculiar problems that advocacy for that district is lacking. And it was one of my trump card that I'm coming in with to speak on behalf of the district. As I speak now, some of the things I mentioned are surprising to you. We know everybody needs a Ghana card. You need a digital address to get your Ghana card. And if where you live, you check and it's giving you the name of another district, how does that work for you? So these are some of the problems that we needed somebody to speak for, and they found in me that person. I think the final one was that the entire party came to the agreement that I stood the best chance in us wrestling power from the NPP. Because it is our seat. And if you look at the trajectory of election results there, we hardly lose that seat. Since 92, we've lost it only twice. And anytime we've lost the seat, there's been an issue internally. And this last one, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama had over 70% of the votes, yet we lost the seat. And there were challenges. The former MP did his best, but could not solve them. And because of that, people voted skirt and blouse. There was people were very disgruntled. And coming in as a neutral face, the leadership of the party, the youth, everybody felt that I could unite everybody. And indeed, I did that. I began with my unity work. I got important persons within the party that were disgruntled back together. On my campaign trail, you will find there our past district chief executive, Honorable Kofi Bomdiaka was part of it. The past constituency chairman was on it. Some of the constituency executives followed me. People, our past MP, Madam Alice Tenibon, was supporting me. I got everybody together. And even after the results, the next thing I did was to visit my senior brother, Honorable Edward Derry. That's the former MP. I spoke with him at home. We chatted, and everything looked okay. I've spoken to the other contender, Dr. Emmanuel Kambampanya, who also did his best. And I've reached out not only to the heads, but to their team members, so that we can unite the party quickly, because that is the only surest way of getting this. And that's why I said I'm confident that the NDC will get back that seat. And I'm confident that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama will win again, because to the people of Lambuse, NDC means a lot to us. If you compare track records in terms of development, you can't match that what NPP has done there, and then what the NDC has done. So if you are going into the next election, we are just going to tell them what we have done and what we are going to do. And I'm sure we will get it.
I'm in love with the 20 doctors plan, because that's really huge. Yes, if you're able to produce 20 doctors from your constituency, at least even within you won't realize it in the 4 years.
Yes,
but that's the start.
Exactly.
So say every year, even if you take 5 people, to the medical school medicine, it means that in the next 7 years, you would have those. At least by when you start in the first year, by the 7th year, you have the first 5 coming out.
And these days, you can even get some a bit quicker, because I teach in the medical school. And I'm a senior lecturer in the University of Ghana Medical School. We have what we call the Graduate Medical Entry Program, where people who have first degree in science-related programs can enter into medical school and do an abridged program of 4 to 5 years and become doctors. So if you have qualified candidates, we sponsor some of them. These people will go. And you see, they are more willing to serve in these communities because they've grown there. When you have nurses, you have teachers, and that's one of the challenges we've been advocating for. The recent recruitment GES is doing. We're making a case. Take the people from the community. Because you take somebody from Accra, you post the person to a community where there's no telephone network. There's no electricity. The person cannot even locate where he's going to with a Google map. So the person gets there. Within the next year, they are out on transfer. But if someone who's grown up there, gets into school, get into training college, he's already used to the system. They are more willing to come back and serve. So it's part of the advocacy we hope to do so that in terms of recruitment, special attention can be given to very deprived areas like this because our teacher population is poor. And some of the schools, they are using volunteer teachers who are paid by the communities themselves, and that is not good enough. And some of these people apply for GES recruitment, and they are not taken, even though they are qualified. So there are issues, but it's about developing the people. Developing the district starts with developing its people, and that's where poverty alleviation begins.
Okay. You see, fantastic idea, fantastic plans. Both of you have. But I'm sure when you went to the delegate, you had to cough up a lot of money, a lot.
Do you want to go there?
But because it's a challenge.
Yes.
And the earlier we start to talk about it and try to sway people from it, we will not get quality. Look at you. I've listened to the two of you and I feel that, these are the kind of people you want to represent your constituency.
Yes.
How much did you have to invest before you got there? Let me start with you, Dr. Beyuo.
I don't have a figure to it, I'm sorry.
About 2 million?
Oh, I don't have that. If I have that, I would have put up a hospital in my I don't have 2 million cities. But in my situation, I would say that the wind of change was blowing. And once the delegates found you as a credible person and one that can spearhead that change, I didn't have to spend that much. People bought into the idea. I sold my message, and of course, but it involves a lot of cost. I live in Accra. I have to fly home every time I'm going. You move with a team.
But I'm sure you can give an estimate of how much moved away from you for this project.
I wouldn't be.
What was? Oh,
I have to.
Look, you were spending.
Yes.
It was moving from your account. It was going. Your friends were bringing.
So let me use this opportunity to thank all those who helped me. A lot of people helped.
Your donors.
Yes. A lot of people helped. Family, friends, schoolmates, some of my uncles in the districts who are in Accra and other places, and some even within the district.
Some of your colleagues said they estimated around 1 million cedis.
No.
On this. Maxwell, how much did you spend?
I don't think I'll reach.
I don't have a figure.
The two of you don't want to be factual with me.
No. I am grateful to my people who sponsored. People gave me money actually. Somebody gave me 2 plots of land to sell. You know the license.
Okay. Yes.
The field of land.
Yeah.
And I help a lot of people in that field.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of job for people, and people gave me money. They gave, and so I sold that one. I sold 1 plot for 80,000. So the two of them was 160,000.
160,000.
People bought motorbikes for me. People gave me as much as 50,000. People gave me 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, and people gave as low as 100 cedis. Yes, because they bought into my message and they were ready to support.
So you could be spending close to a million cedis.
Yeah, it's possible.
1 million cedis on primary.
It's possible.
Wow. But for him, his primaries is the general election. I still have another battle ahead, so I couldn't have spent a million.
Sincerely, our primaries it's like the general election, and so you put in your all to make sure that you emerge victorious.
Right, then I'm sure you spend more than 1 million. Because, like you say, you may probably be getting close to 2 million cedis. Because I had a conversation with one of you who said even after he had spent a lot of money, close to 1 million, he had to come back to Accra to look for around 1 million.
And go back.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not easy. It depends on the size of the constituency. I have about 166 branches. People have over 240-something branches.
Yeah.
And you have 9 delegates in each branch. So I have about 1,528 together with the constituency executives and the special delegates. We have about 1,528 to deal with at every point in time. Of course, the generality are the branch executive 1494 or so thereabout, and so those are the numbers you need to deal with.
Yeah.
So when you visit them, of course, or you invite them to a program, at least you need to
Give
give
them
them
TNT. Yeah.
Then when you can't, you may have to get some lunch for them. During the day of the voting, you have to transport them in and out. Even though the party itself would have given them something, of course, you need to also appreciate their coming and going back. Because, of course, they would have left their job to come and spend the whole day in the district capital for the election. And so they are part of the game.
Yeah. So former President Mahama, for example, was appreciating people with 40 cedis transportation.
Yeah.
How much were you giving in transportation?
You want me to mention?
Oh, exactly. I mean, even former President Mahama named his, and we all say, okay, well, that's to appreciate them. How much did you
It's
give?
not for the consumption of the media. You want my delegates to be angry with me? I don't want people to calculate how much they would have gotten in all so that they go and attack me.
Oh, come on.
So I'll keep that between myself and my delegates. I'm so grateful to them. Some of them were ready to give up whatever transportation and feed I was going to give to them. They were ready to give it up. They were not interested in picking it up. And so I am so grateful to them. And most of them contributed.
Yeah, I mean,
A branch contributed money and brought to me. One branch contributed 1,000 cedis. That is your Kutipo branch. They brought me 1,000 cedis in an envelope to support my campaign. Can you imagine?
you know, so
The people who are supposed to be taking, yes.
the general thinking is that we always send out.
Yeah.
But if you are a candidate with a message and that the people like you, they actually do.
They bring
yeah, because I had some of my executives contributing money to pay for my picking of my nomination form. In the course of the campaign, young guys took their own motorbikes, filled them with fuel, and moved around. I didn't have to supply all of them fuel. In fact, when you saw my campaign team moving, you will wonder that how I got the money, because you would see 6 vehicles in a motorcade moving. But I only owned one of them. People donated their own vehicles, fueled them, donated it, asked drivers to come on board so that the number of people using motorbikes will be reduced. So they all joined these vehicles. And it's a collective effort. So it's the reason why we are so grateful to these, to the delegates and to all those who supported.
So what do you make of former President Mahama's 40 cedis transportation?
It's a very good move. It's a very good move. You know, because this contest, the people who are coming in to cut 2 votes, vote for him.
I don't want the vote to be transported.
No, they needed to.
They have to be
So
transported.
why?
Yeah. No, you see, it's the party will normally have to do that. So somebody has to finance that. And if you take my constituency, if you give even the 40 cedis, may not be enough if people didn't add up. Because if you buy, how much is a liter of fuel? If you buy that into a motorbike from the farthest part of the constituency, in and out, you may spend a little over that. And we have to feed the delegates. So all of us had to contribute to make sure that it was worthwhile. And I think it's a very good decision he took. Then in nominal terms, it may look small, but looking at the number of delegates, it becomes a lot. And I think he's done very well by.
What was your budget for the D-Day? Feeding people and paying transportation?
Oh, feeding people, I don't remember what the budget was, because bought rice, bought something.
You know why? Because I want us to look into
Yeah.
monetizing politics in this country.
Okay.
2 fantastic brains.
Yes.
Sitting here.
Yeah.
But if we don't curtail this art of,
Monetization.
you know,
Yeah.
it is we say the highest bidder.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Then it means that we may have to lose you in parliament because someone is paying more.
Yeah.
How do we deal with that issue of
So,
monetizing of our politics in
I
this
will
country?
take a fair shot at that. And my brother, my senior comrade, who has done this several times, will come in. I think gradually it's getting worse in terms of the supply, but it's getting better maybe in terms of the demand. Why am I saying this? You will see situations where people have used so much money and still lose, telling you that the people are getting more discerning, and it's not just money. They also look at the quality of the candidate. But the final solution in this thing lies in us looking at who is a branch executive. And I would encourage all those who are concerned about monetization, the middle class, to join branches of our party, the great NDC, and pick up forms at the branch level and contest and win positions at the branches. Because if you are there, you can then decide that I will not be influenced by money or inducement. But to the extent that we sit out of the circle and leave it to some other people, and the people demand, or they are supplied and it influences them, or it induces them with, they are induced with money, we can only cry, but it will yield nothing. So we need a lot more of the middle class in the grassroots politics. Then when the campaign comes up, it is going to be analysis of policies, ideas. What is this person bringing on board? And then they'll look at it. But I can say that, especially at least in Lambuse, our delegates are getting very, very, very discerning. And I could see that, because if it was just money, I'm not sure I would have won.
Okay.
They are listening to what we are saying. They are identifying who can get us the seats, who can unite the party, who can do this, who can do this. And it plays a role. But yes, in terms of the supply side, most people are getting that idea that to win, you just have to come with money, which is wrong. Yeah.
But so what sort of impact does that have on our politics? For example, if you have someone coming in with a lot of money, and you probably not having many, but you believe that you are the quality that the people need.
So the immediate impact is that it scares away very good brains, people with very good technical background that would have contributed to the rich discussions in Parliament, formulate very good laws. If you hear that someone spent 1 million cedis and you have never made 1 million cedis, would you come? Definitely not. If you're having some 200,000, you want to come and throw it and don't get. So it scares away people. And it also means that if you don't take care, some people can just hijack the entire system. Because you see, people with hidden agenda can finance others, and they'll just come and take the positions, and we'll get to Parliament and all sorts of bills will be coming up because they are sponsored by some kind of people. So it's something we ought to be careful about. And I think His Excellency John Dramani Mahama spoke about it when he talked about financing political parties, that we really need to look at it. If you look at what he's doing now, he's come up with a financing app. People can donate towards the campaign. We are mobilizing money as a party so that one individual doesn't come and give you $10 million and then owns whatever is happening there. We need to own the democratic process. The individual Ghanaian has to contribute something. I have encouraged people to contribute, and people contributed, as he mentioned. People gave 50 cedis, people gave 100 cedis. In my next phase, I'm going to encourage a lot of people to contribute so that you are not paying allegiance to only one person. Because if your budget is 1 million cedis, for instance, and somebody gives you that budget, how are you going to say no if that person says something else to you? You know, so everybody must be concerned. And I think His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's position on this was apt. If we don't take care, the state must play a role. The citizens must own the process by contributing towards it. So even if there's a demand for money, we don't give people with ulterior motives the opportunity to hijack the process.
Okay. All right. We're still talking about this whole thing about, monetizing our elections. How threatening was it in your constituency, for example?
No, sincerely, we can't take money out of politics. Because, of course, like you said, you have cars going with you, you need to fuel them. There are people on the campaign trail, you need to feed them. You can't go and meet people for 3 hours and just walk away, unless you need to appreciate them. They would have spent that 3 hours on productive venture. Of course, this is also productive, but personally. So once they come to sit down with you and you meet them for 3 hours, there's always a city allowance, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
So at least you appreciate them with something. So the point here is that would you alone bear all the responsibility? Best practice is that people contribute to your campaign if they believe in you as a person.
Yeah. But we know that apart from that, even people do call you, oh, my rent, my school fees, my blah, 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 because you want to be an MP. That puts a strain on your finances.
Not necessarily. Even people ask you on rent, right? You as a person. Yes.
But not as many as they will approach you.
At a larger scale. So the point is that society needs some things. Once we are poor, we need things. And when people have needs, they will contact somebody for it. But of course, once you bring yourself up, you are more susceptible to people to call. Because yes, your contacts and everything is out there for everybody to see. So they will definitely call you. And for me, once there's a need, it has to be met. Whether as a politician or not a politician, I still have to meet people's need. In my world as a professional, you know, I do a lot of, I'm a licensed surveyor, I have a salt mine, I have a hotel, and I also, I'm a contractor. So I employ people in all these fields. And so I believe that once I am better placed in society and I can make resources myself, there are people who will not be as privileged as I am. And so give it to them. So I do, not necessarily because I'm a politician.
Yeah, but you see, the point is that as a private person, the sort of request that will come to you is nowhere close to when you,
of course, that's
you decide to become an MP.
Yourself up. You need the help of people, so they will also come back to you. It's like a symbiotic relationship. You need me to help you to vote for you. I also need you to help me pay my war school fees. You get it? And for me, if I'm paying your war school fees, it's because I believe that your war should become something tomorrow. Primarily, that's why I'm paying it. Not necessarily because I will need you to vote for me. If I'm paying your bill at the hospital, it's because I want you to be off to come and take care of your personal needs. And one day you may also want to support me. But it's not necessarily a compulsory act that once I pay your fees, you should also come to vote for me. My point is that, yes, people have needs and it has to be met by somebody somewhere. I also believe that it's because some politicians are not living to the standard people expect from them. Their roads are still deplorable. They still don't get water to drink. They have to be buying water. The things they need, basically, they don't have. So once you come up and say, I can do this, prove that you can do it. So at least you also have to give us something. So, but at the end of the day, somebody will have to sponsor that. So once people believe in who I am as a person, that's how much they can contribute to my campaign. So I tell you, I got almost about 300,000 donations from people towards this campaign. It's because they believed in the brand Maxwell Lukutor, and they believe that he can do what he says he can do because he has a track record. So as for the money, you spend it. You need it to spend during the process. Because, of course, our party will have to sell form 5,000. You have to pay filing fee of 40,000. The region took some money from you. And all that process, before you end, it's all money. People will contribute towards that. Beyond that, like I said, you meet people, you give. And the D-Day when they come, you may have to house some few of them. You may have to feed some few of them because the person has left his comfort zone and come. You need to take care of him some way, somehow. It's a quantum sometimes that it's scary. But once you know what you are doing and you do a good and clean campaign, whatever you give to people, they will believe in you. And still vote. Like he said, you saw somebody in her vehicle throwing money and splashing it in there and still lost the election. So it's not necessarily how much you dole out. It's about other things. But money plays a role too. But at the end of the day, you should be a credible candidate. You should have a good message. People should believe in you and believe that what you say you would go to do for them, you have started or you have done some before. So for me, it's a combination of a lot of things. You can't take money out of politics. It's going to be part of it. But it becomes better, like my brother said, if you have very discerning people being part of the process. In the last election that we had during the branch election, you have medical doctors and very highly qualified people going to far as branch executives. And so those caliber of people is not about the highest bidder. It's about the best candidate at the time. Even if I give you 1,000 cedis, will you just go and vote for somebody because he gave you 1,000 cedis, another gave you 100 cedis? No. You will look at the people and then play along whoever you think is the best candidate. So yes, money is necessary, but should not be the determinant. And it should not scare people. Once you are a good candidate, come on board, sell your message, people will buy into it. The little you give to them, I'm sure they will roll on with you. That's what I believe in.
All right. Okay, so in that same regard, let me come to you, Dr. Beyuo. When someone becomes an MP, and like you're saying, you have fantastic plans. For example, 20 medical doctors. But instead of concentrating resources into that, people will be bugging you with personal issues because you are their MP.
Yeah.
You will need their vote.
Yeah.
So the slightest thing, they will run to you. Isn't that a worry that will probably push some of the very good materials we have away from joining? Or is that not even why people are not joining, you know?
It's a genuine concern, I think, that we have to look at. But this concern is not arising in vacuum.
Okay.
It's arising in the economic environment that we live in. If people were empowered, people were employed, people were meeting their daily needs, they'll probably not make those demands of us. So I think it's a chicken and egg situation.
Okay.
We need to improve the economy, improve the livelihoods of people so they can fend for themselves rather than demanding everything from their members of parliament. So I see the persistent demands from constituents on MPs or constituents on politicians as a sign of the general economic failure that we have as a country. Okay. Because if you go to the developed world, how many people walk up to the house of their representative and ask for money? Because they are employed, they are working. I need something, I budget for it, I work for it, I save for it. Here, you have young people sitting down with no jobs, with certificates. So what is the alternative for them? So somebody is going to the hospital and needs money. They would ask because there is no other alternative for them. So that can stop if we transition our economy generally from whatever it is now in economic terms, whether it's middle income, lower middle income, or whether we are junk status. If we transition it into a developing or a developed economy that is very thriving, where young people who finish school can get jobs. You see, sometimes when someone makes a request of you, and some of them, the request is not much, but you see in it the abject poverty. You see, if a young man who is finished university is sitting down in the town square and ask you for 10 cedis or 50 cedis, you realize that that person is not being lazy. That person is not just asking because you are just a politician, but they have a need to meet, and somebody has to supply that. So, and rather than us just continuously doling out money, it should prick the conscience of the politicians. I don't know if I'm a politician yet, but, but if I am one...
You are you are so motivated to go back to your secretary.
No, he's been a politician since because he won the general secretary through politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm one,
you are.
It should prick our conscience to look at how can we improve the livelihoods of the people. For me, I think that, and I spoke, this is one of the things I told my people on the campaign. You see, if you ask me something now, I would give you if I have it. Yeah. But I think the best gift I can give you is to plant a tree in your house. What do I mean by planting a tree in your house? If I become a member of parliament, and I'm hoping that the people of Lambuse will do me that favor, and there are opportunities, and we spread it out, and you identify a community, pick up one promising child from there, get that person a job. It is the responsibility of that person to take care of the rest of the community. I don't expect people from that household to making demands of me. And that's how these demands can go down. So if we empower people one at a time and spread it out, don't let it be in one family. So if I ever have an opportunity to get somebody an employment or to give somebody money to start a business or something, I'll probably focus more on women.
Okay.
For very obvious reasons. When the women have money, they keep the home. A lot of the time, when men already have money, but may not be so supportive of the women. And I'm a very strong advocate for women. Okay. And my whole life, that's what I do.
That's why.
Yes. So I was telling people, when people come and they are giving transportation money, you can have two delegates, both of them a couple. The man will take his own, go get a bottle of drink with his friends, have fun. The woman will take that and go home and look at how they can get a next meal for the family. So if we empower them, we are alleviating poverty. If we are empowering the youth, there's a lot of promise in that. And let's spread it out. So don't give everything to one side. Okay. Then you have one family producing all the doctors, all the lawyers, and the rest of the community is still in poverty. They will come demanding. If you don't give, they will rob. because they are dying. It's survival. It's an existential threat that is coming to them. So we should look at improving the economy in general. Then these demands will go down. So anybody who is worried about the demands and therefore will not want to contest a position, look at in your private life. How many people can you employ? He has employed people. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a private hospital. I employ people. So how many people can you employ? How many people can you take out of poverty? And if all of us do that, there are some things we can do for ourselves, and that's where government comes in. And that's where we have to look at the larger proportion. I would, on this platform, advocate that if we want to improve the economy, the next government of this country must be NDC. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has outlined cogent principles that he's going to use to turn around things. If we get the NDC government in, the social democratic governance that we practice as NDC, you realize that we spread out everything, and it's not only limited to few families. And that principle, eventually, maybe the next time my son or your son decide to contest as an MP, it will be people donating to him, not him having to feed people.
So I guess that when you win as an MP, we have to look forward to you empowering women in your constituency.
A lot.
Creating jobs for the youth.
A lot.
Anyway, let me share some of the messages that have come. You have a lot of messages coming in. This one says, our incoming, so this is Spatula GH. Our incoming MP, Maxwell Lukutor, that's what he said. Watching live from Soga Kope. That's
my...
That's part of
that's my concern.
All right. Koku Elolo says, my parliamentary candidate, Maxwell Kwame Lukutor. You're called Kwame?
Kwame.
Oh. Adolf Akom says, Samuel Okudzoto Ablakwa, best MP ever lived on the soils of Ghana. God bless you, Honorable. Okay, he's not here, but I'm sure he will hear it. Togbi Jablu, the fourth, says, best man for the job. Kai. You know him?
I know him.
Oh, okay.
He's a journalist.
Solomon Hero King says, very good morning to JoyNews for having our incoming member of parliament for South Tong, Honorable Maxwell Kwame Lukutor. The man we have in the moment, who's willing, ready, and able to work hard for a better South Tong. The man that brings more happiness among the peoples of South Tong. 4x4. Game Su. Is that it?
Gamesu.
Gamesu. Okay. All right. MCR Preko says, good morning, dear host. Good news is that the MPP kingmakers and the grassroots have endorsed Dr. Akoto Afriye over the rest of the aspirant. It will be advisable for the rest to save resources to support the general elections campaign because Dr. Akoto Afriye has already taken the lead. Dr. Akoto is the incoming president of Ghana. Still, Dr. Akoto is the legend from MCR Preko office of Kasi Caucus, Asokwa constituency. Idrisu Abdul Martin says, good morning, JoyNews. My regards to incoming MP for Lambusie constituency. The Lambusie people can't wait to give him a victory in 2024. Okay. Koku Elolo again says, the people's MP, Maxwell Kwame Lukutor. Best wishes, Dr. Titus Beyuo. Okay. His name is in Arabic, so I can't.
You need to learn how to read that.
Geostate survey says Togbi Bagblaja, the second. Press on, rest not. That's your name? Togbi Bagblaja.
That's my nickname with him.
Okay. TBA Paulino says, good morning, JoyNews. Lambusie is very much grateful for you, Dr. Beyuo. We pray and hope for an outstanding result coming 2024. Okay. Solomon Hero King says, we are so much excited to have a credible man like Honorable Maxwell Kwame Lukutor. Sally Alfred says, as a constituent of Lambusie, I'm proud of you, Doctor. I'm proud to have voted for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Asigbe Lolonyo says, new era, Mr. Lukutor. John Bosco Nago says, Lambusie has now got its projector. The demand for Dr. Titus K. Beyuo to represent Lambusie has been enormous. In fact, Dr. Titus K. Beyuo is the answer for Lambusie's leadership and relaunching needs. Such an eloquent and solid submission. Okay. Good response, Maxi, on funding of primaries. That is a fair and honest response. Okay. Votia Moses de Young says, we pray God gives you strength and the needed resources or logistics for better South Tong and Ghana at large. Okay, Musa Abatwa says, as IMF decides to accept our program and give us relief of $3 billion, Parliament should establish a bipartisan committee to determine how the money should be disbursed, because government cannot be trusted. We know how they shared COVID-19 funds like Kelewele. According to Ken Ofreata, going to IMF is no more recklessness, but an achievement. Posterity is judging them. Co-main Sampila says, Kumeuba election, NDC 10, MPP 60,000. Anyway, regards to Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, our next president of the Republic of Ghana, by co-main Sampila 2. Okay, this one says, just like how Nanado told majority, where were they when Ken Ofreata was financing his campaign? Ken Ofreata has hijacked the system. Regards to the incoming MP for South Town, Nyinto is happy now. Nana Ansu brought this one in. Sebastian Danby says, congrats to Dr. Titus Beyuo, PC for Lambosie constituency. It's obvious that the current MP is on his way home, even before election 2024. 2024 is possible. Kazi MKG Trinzink says, South Town NDC delegate, you have chosen a leader and an agent of development. I'm proud of you, Max Lukutor. Richard Amponsan says, greetings to Honorable Alexander Kojo Ajari MP for Kede constituency. So far, so good. Honorable Tuaso. Lambusie to the entire world. Dr. Titus Beyuo, may Allah guide and protect you for you to be able to advocate for Lambusie. Amen. Leadership, including advocacy, is the benchmark of development, and we see that in you. Michael Avenogbo says, South Town will work again. Evans Denning says, please, greetings to you from Teshi. God bless you for the good works you people are doing in the country. Asigbe Lolonyo says, Dr. Beyuo, super. Hey. Look, before you even go into the main elections, you have an accolade. Now, Lambusie, we can also brag of having a vibrant person to represent us in Parliament. Okay. And now, empowering the youth will solve this problem. Get them jobs, and they will take care of their households. Yeah. May God bring Mr. Titus, so that's Dr. Titus Beyuo, to power. This is conscience. Okay. Oh, lovely. Maxwell Lukutor and your colleagues are doing great. I love your host, who is asking relevant and factual questions. Hey, thank you. Okay, so this is from a very good friend of mine, Richard Honyefia Bonnie. He's been a solid teacher in my place, a hunter. Okay. He's taught a lot of us. I mean, when I was a student, he was a teacher, but he's become a good friend. He says, that's the next MP for my beloved South Town constituency. With him, I can be sure of improvement in education. Wow. Richard Bonnie. Okay. Wow. He's a solid educationist. I'm sure he will become a PhD holder very, very soon.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Bonnie.
Bonnie, yes.
Yeah. From my hometown.
Oh, he's a very solid teacher. He's taught a lot of people in my place. And if I had my way, I'll probably award him, because he's an everman who's traveled all the way to a hunter, and he's found a way to really love us. Wow. He's become one of us, really. I really adore him for that. Yeah. So maybe when you become an MP, you might think of getting him to be your director of education.
Yeah, sure.
Raymond Agbana says, Dr. Titus Beyuo is a hope of the Lambusie constituency, MP in waiting. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if this one says what? Okay. I think I've dealt with this already. There's so many messages. Yeah. Okay. Fred Adinam Godson says, Max. South Town into the world. Okay. Yeah. John Twillinio. I hope I've had your name. If I've murdered it, please forgive me. Dr. Titus Beyuo, congrats. Work hard and regain the Lambusie seat for the NDC. Baligi should start packing his MPP incumbent MP. Okay. All right. Dr. Beyuo is a fantastic man. He's the people's man. The first time we have someone representing us on TV. Oh, really?
I don't think that's right.
Yes. Okay. Faith Senior Tamaklo says, 4x4. We are proud of you, Max. New chapter in the history of South Town. Max, the people's choice. Faith Senior brought this one in. Mr. Lukutor, the new era for South Town. Enku Lenu Enam brought this one in. Good morning, Joy. It's refreshing watching the submissions of the two PCs. Hopefully, they deliver on their work. Salute to Honorable Lukutor. Dr. Titus Beyuo, victory awaits you. No shaking. that Lukutor, Titus, Abatane. Please forgive me if I'm murdering your names. Forgive me, I know names are very, very important to all of us, but exactly. Sometimes. Anna Ansu says, regards to the incoming MP for Southtown, Nyinto is happy now. Who's Nyinto?
Nyinto is a community.
Ah, okay.
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 It's one of the branches.
Okay. All right then. All right, let's see. I think we would have to end it here.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to you. But just before we go, maybe your last word. Dr. Beyuo, let me start with you.
Okay. So I think my final words will be that I'm very grateful to the people of Lambuse, to my party delegates, and all those who supported my campaign, and for giving me the opportunity and electing me as your parliamentary candidate. But it doesn't end there. We need to get into parliament to bring all the plans we have. And not only that, we need His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to get to become the next president of Ghana.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that the people of Lambuse and Ghana at large will give John Mahama the opportunity, while Lambuse give me the opportunity to work with him. Just for one reason. It is the first time a presidential candidate, I may be wrong, but this is the first time I have seen commit to completing ongoing projects. And for Lambuse, we have an Agenda 111 hospital that has been started.
Okay.
We don't know if it will be completed before or whatever, but there is that commitment that he'll complete ongoing projects. We have CHIP centers that were started during the elsewhere NDC administration that were not complete and have been left to stand there. So if we want that government that brings continuity, that shares the national cake fairly to places like Lambuse, we have no choice than to bring His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to power. And I plead with the constituents of Lambuse to put aside party color, put aside tribal color, put aside everything and look at the next candidate who will bring the needed development to Lambuse. And I think I'm the person.
One. Okay. Dr. Titus Beyuo, former General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, now parliamentary candidate of the NDC for the Lambuse constituency. Let's see how 2024 will go. But I'm sure between now and then, we'll have a lot of
Definitely.
chat,
Definitely.
The people's man, Maxwell Lukutor.
Yes, 4x4.
4x4. Your last word, sir.
I'm so grateful to the people of Southtown, my chiefs, all the traditional areas, Bumet, the Flesh, Ukwe, Fievie, Agave. I'm grateful to my team, Man's job. I'm grateful to everybody, my family. I'm grateful to everybody that worked with me. I am so grateful. It's been a torturous time, contesting 3 different occasions and going for the 4th time. I'm also grateful to my other aspirants, Steve, Vivian, Jonathan, and then our incumbent MP, Kobina Mensah Oyuma. I'm so grateful to everybody, the constituency executives. I don't want to mention names so that I will miss up on anybody, but anybody who contributed, my financiers, I am so grateful. Within a period of 5 weeks, we'll be able to back over 300,000 cities. So grateful to everybody for believing in me and for doing this for once. I promise I'm never going to disappoint you. We pray, the whole country watching us, John Dramani Mahama is the savior of this country. We have gone so low, we have sunk so deep, and it's my prayer that, like somebody said, there's $604 million that has come.
Okay, 600 million first.
Yeah, won't be used to purchase Kellywood. Won't be shared like Kellywood, like we saw in the COVID fund. We are pleading that for once, decency should come into our minds. We see them already branding cars. We beg them. This money is supposed to be used for something. And I'm sure the IMF...
But you saw the car before the money came. Why are you trying to attach it to
I don't know whether something went behind
but you don't know if more will come.
More will come. So my fear is that we should remain where we are. Let's not go on the spending spree and go down the drain again. John Dramani Mahama, the savior of Ghana, will definitely come.
Yeah.
The hole should not be dug deeper. No, please. Where we have gotten to is enough for us. Kenoforiata, you have made a promise that after the money has come, you will resign. We are hoping and praying that within the next week or so, you will resign so that we can save Ghana from the doldrums. We are pleading. Ghana is bleeding.
All right.
John Dramani Mahama, our savior, would come. We are all ready. Let's give him the necessary support. All Ghanaian. Like my brother said, no political colors. Let's focus on who the best candidate is.
Okay.
We give him the best so that Ghana will breathe again.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. So but I have to do this for you, Dr. Beyuo.
Yeah.
Khalifa Isifu Muhammad says, Dr. Titus, I need your mentorship, the man for the job. So I'm sure you have to look for him. Maybe he wants, he or Khalifa may be a lady. Huh?
Yeah.
So anyway, he or she wants.
So he should just go onto my Facebook page and then send me a private message. I would exchange contacts.
Okay.
I love to mentor young people, just as myself. Okay. I wouldn't deny him or her of that.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming into our studio. Mr. Lukutor, Dr. Beyuo.
All right.
All right, so this is still the AM show. We'll take a quick break here. When we come, the lovely Bennett Abubedu Lanza will be on your screens with an interesting conversation. Do stay with us here. We'll be right back.